Today, we will work on this extremely educational trading practice. It will help us to learn how to trade ongoing momentum. Of course, our best trading view indicator will help us to point out great entry locations. If you are ready, here we start. Let's have a chat about the famous Bitcoin crash in the weekend and go over how the masterclass students traded this exact setup. One of the simplest and the most obvious things you could have spotted on this chart is the PDL level, which stands for the previous day's low. That was our clear and very intentional target. What happened here is that price pulled back into this large multi-imbalance area. If you take a close look at the 1-hour and 2-hour charts, you can clearly notice how the swing failure pattern formed here. That basically sums up the higher time frame structure, and it helps us to find entry point with a very clear target. Now, let's shift our focus to the 15-minute lower time frame at below. Notice this clean imbalance area along with the swing failure pattern, the inner one. Especially the real sweep of liquidity happens right inside our trade zone. There are two important things to highlight here. First, the fill. Now, what do we mean by fill? Fill is basically the imbalance tab combined with inner liquidity. And that's exactly what you can notice here. Secondly, we already know that this zone connects directly with the higher time frame multi-imbalance tabs. It is also the same spot where we have multiple swing failure patterns lining up on the hourly charts. So, I think you now got the most basic and important ideas here. The trade structure and how we identified the setup. Now let's break it down further and talk about the actual trade entries. One of the most common entry methods you can use if you don't want to wait for a pullback is to simply set a limit order or jump in with market structure break. By doing this, you reduce the chance of missing the trade completely, which is something many trades worry about. But you need to be careful with this approach. Your trade should stay tight, simple, and not go beyond 2-hour setups. What else can you do? You can use micro trading methods with 1-minute time frame. As you can see in this chart, there is a market structure break on the 1 minute. You take the trade on the pullback. If you notice, this trade actually stops out. Look at carefully. But there's nothing wrong with that. On a 1-minute chart, you will often see a lot of fake structure breaks. If you look more carefully, later on another market structure happens. And this time this trade plays out. So after all that, once the trend starts forming, you will see that many break-off structures continue to line up with the new trend. That is really the key here. Microstructure breaks can be very tricky. Sometimes it is better to wait and let those break-off structures confirm they are moving in the same direction as a trend. Let me explain this in a clearer way. Reversals are always difficult to trade. That is because at reversal points there are usually a lot of fake outs and false structure breaks, just like in this example. So if you find yourself getting stopped out multiple times in a row, at the start of a reversal, the best thing you can do is simply pause and wait. Now, what exactly are we waiting for? You are waiting for the new trend to actually form. Once the trend has started to take shape, you can begin following the new breakoff structures. This is because trading breakouts in a formed trend is generally much easier than trying to catch those first reversal points where the market keeps faking you out. Okay people, this is it for today. We discussed a lot of important subjects. Please stay safe and see you next time. Completed the free trading course but still need more? My master classes teach liquidity, imbalance, and the market structure in detail. Combine them with forward and reverse trading using momentum superboxes and yo-yo cost average entry models. After that, you will master scalping with a one-screen free TradingView indicator, a revolutionary trading system. Finally, you will learn to invest your profits using my 10-year swing investing with working agent system. Interested? Please see the video description.